Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hack.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
Americans violate drug laws in their lifetime. Most do. That's what the research shows. But the drug war, not by accident, has been waged almost exclusively in poor communities of color.
Bread and butter for your table, right? Hard for the nigga on the stable, right? When would you learn to do it yourself instead of waiting for somebody to save your life? Food for the fire, your bitch ass was born to expire. First to the last, worst of the peasants to fail this class.
Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show back in the building with yet another riveting topic. You know how we do. Listen, before I can even get to the topics, you know I got to promote small businesses. You know, these companies need this exposure. It's important that we promote. Let me get over to the in-studio guest real quick, because I did a hell of a job this Friday. I was cold-blooded. I could have beat anybody in the world this Friday. Friday morning, I was on 10. What was it called, a fade? Oh, come on, speak on it, Kev. What is it that you do, man?
I box. I train. Boxing is one of the specialties I teach. Also, I teach training. But the booty boxing is the system that I have. It's the 8-week home training system. And you can get that at udemy.com/bootyboxing. And the promo code is ZOWHATSHOW. Also, if you just want to learn how to defend yourself, if you just feel uncomfortable in situations where you have to express yourself, you just want a little bit more comfortability, a little more courage, you can go ahead and learn the boxing section as well. Or if you just want to cut it down and slim up for Thanksgiving, go ahead and hit that too.
Hey, y'all got to get with Kev, man. He's a pro at what he does.
I'll tell y'all, Zoe was killing it on Friday. I'll give it to you. You know how we do. I don't give you nothing easy, man.
I know.
You was doing
I can't even get 20 seconds of rest.
Not at all. But you were doing it on Friday. I give you that.
It's on and cracking, baby. Anyway, more businesses to promote. Weed Juice. Get that website up here real quick, man. Weed Juice. Now, anybody who listening to the show right now, if you go to his website, this is our homeboy Hassan. He makes all of these juices daily, fresh, and he can get them out to you in like one of those little frozen packages. You get them, real quick, and they'll be fresh by the time they get there. 30. What is the promo he gave us?
Right there.
He gave us a promo? Let me just mention his promo. He just texted me this, so it's important. Promo special, $30 off 3-day cleanse when you apply the code. Half off shipping as well. The code is We Live, We Love, We Juice. Now that last we is OUI. French. Right? We Juice. We Live, We Love, We Juice. Please continue to support that brother in his movement. Also, we got Elephant. Live free above negative thinking. Homemade, handmade, tailor-made clothing at the same place that does Ralph Lauren and all of these other Banana Republic, J. Crew. Brothers out of New York. I love to support them. Elephant is the name of their company, which is an acronym. Elephant, L-A-F-A-N-T. Live free above negative thinking. That's their clothing line. Please support these brothers. ElephantNYC.com is the company. Free. Support these brothers. Freedompaper.com. It's important that you run with them. Let's go. Arise Hospitality. These people get their stuff from the same place as Staples, Office Max, black-owned business. Gotta support these guys. Arise Hospitality. Easy Boy Web. Easy Boy Web. These guys took care of my website. Where's my website, as a matter of fact? Pull it up so you, because their website is very, very business. You know, we can do this. But you want to see their stuff in action. Show them my website real quick. IamZoeWilliams.com. Go there. These guys built my website. E-commerce, everything. Locked in. It's icy. They do really great work. We already did Weed Juiced. I got a couple more things. Say what? Who's on the phone? I don't speak. I don't. Oh, your mama is on the phone. Let's get Tanya up in here. Tell Tanya to come on. This boy's mama on the phone. Tanya!
Yo, what's up, Zoe? How you doing?
I'm good, honey. Please promote this business you got cracking. We want to know about it.
Oh, thank you so much. Our business is called House of Roses and Blooms, and what we are is a transitional house for girls that age out of foster care and homeless girls.
Come on, y'all.
So what we're trying to... Huh?
No, I'm with you. Keep speaking.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is open up 4 in the Philadelphia area. Once we get them housed, we're going to love on them. We're going to teach them life skills. We'll get them set up with school if they didn't have their GED. We'll get them set up to take that. If they want to further their education and higher education, we have avenues for them to go into. And then ultimately get them to the point where they can live independently. Wow. And once they are out and live independent, they have to come in, they have to come back and show the new girls how it's done. So they're giving back to the community as well.
Awesome. Now, what is the website again?
Well, actually, my website, I'm still working on it, so bear with me. But we have a GoFundMe page, and on Facebook as well, House of Roses and Blooms. Right. So we're just trying to get some federal and state funding to get us started. We're already incorporated and everything. We're just trying to get the house now.
Wow.
And we
listen,
have employees. We have all kinds of staff in place from the health and wellness all the way up to the education, and then, just women as a general, showing you how to be a lady.
And listen, they're only asking for $10,000. They've only raised $610 in a month. Let's make a move on this. Let's cash mob them. Let's make a move on it. It's a good thing that we're trying to support here. She's trying to take care of some young girls that are in a transition. Only $610 they've raised in a month. They're only asking for $10K. We all can give $50 on that. I got 50 on it today. So let's do that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Let's do that.
Thank you.
All right, you're going to see my $50 by the end of the show, Tanya.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the listeners out there that are willing to support us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, I've got to move quick. This young, beautiful lady. She is the author of a book, And So I Prayed, The First 40 Days. Lydia, say your last name.
L. You speak
Lydia
French.
L.
Yes, sir.
All right. I love it. Could you tell us a little about this book and where people can find it?
Sure. The book is for those who are in the middle of the struggle or who came out of a difficult time and didn't get or is unsure of the lessons they're supposed to get from it. You can get it at lydial.com. It goes live tonight at 12 Eastern, so that'll be 9 p.m. Y'all get a little early. Nice. And there's also a free gift because, I'm a singer, so I did put something extra on that for the electronic version, the Kindle version on Amazon.
Awesome. And she's a thespian.
It's true.
It just keeps going. We have a guest in the studio right now. He's going to join us for the conversation. Craig Shields, bullish on renewable energy. Now, he's written a bunch of books about renewable energy, right?
That's correct.
And we'll be doing a show today on sustainability, so it's going to be very interesting. I suggest you guys go out and support Bullish on Renewable Energy by Craig Shields. There's his website right there. Can they buy your book directly from your website?
There's a link to the Amazon page.
Absolutely. Continue to support this brother's movement. Now, Dr. Mark Goulston. He keeps trying to front like his book ain't doing well. It's just chugging along. It's fine. It's kind of dragging its feet. This book is incredible. I read 3 pages last week, right? And those 3 pages, I had to sit down and was like, I'm crazy. I understood it clearly. Like, I'm talking to crazy right now. I had to sit down for a second.
Already.
The book is incredible. How to Deal with the Irrational, Impossible People in Your Life, Talking to Crazy. Dr. Mark Goulston. What is this? Number 8 in terms of books for you? 7, 8?
7, yeah.
Wow. So
And it was number 1 and number 3 in hot releases at Amazon the last couple of weeks for communication and communication skills like that.
wow.
But really, what it's about? It's about how to be unflappable. When you're under stress, because how to not lose your cool when you're facing people who tend to get the better of you.
Yeah,
And,
I'm flapping in the wind. I
well,
recognize that in 3 days.
You're a big flapper.
I'm a flapper.
But Chris, can you put up quickly popprotocol.org? Popprotocol.org. So I'm also associated with something we had guests last week called popprotocol.org. We'll find it sooner or later. But what it stands for is Pull Over Protocol, and we had guests last week, Jeff Dyson and Sean Collinson, and it's really a way to de-escalate situations when police pull people over. And there's a program for the police. In fact, I just got a call from a department. They want to talk more about that, so hopefully this will happen. And then also it's how to keep civilians from getting themselves killed, and it's called Saving Lives One Stop at a Time. That's our motto.
Good. Really quickly, where do they find your music and your book again one more time, Lydia?
LydiaL.com. You can also go to Amazon, iTunes, Google Play. Just look up Lydia L. It's
Lydia L. E-L-L-E. Please support her movement. Also, we've got Veronica Conway. Yeah, we could play a little of that. Let's just let it ride. Right underneath this. VC.
Yes, sir.
Speak on what you got to promote.
Yeah, so we're taking about 5 weeks to change the game. At the end of the year, we're trying to finish 2015 strong and go into 2016 with a lot of power. So we're doing a virtual intensive, Believe Your Limits virtual intensive. And if you want to check it out, you can go to tinyurl.com/Leave Your Limits Now. It's tinyurl.com/Leave Your Limits Now.
Excellent. That's VC. And last but not least, go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com, and get your copy of my latest book, The Relationship Dismount: How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. The book, critically acclaimed so far. Amazon has sent us a lot of love. It's also available on iTunes, iBook right now. So all my iPhone users, you can download this if you go to the iStore. It'll go right into your iBook section. Please continue to support my movement. If you want a physical copy, I'm going to the post office tomorrow. IamZoeWilliams.com. Don't get it twisted. Let's keep the movement happening. Also, the final thing, Kevin just reminded me. The raffle. We have a huge raffle. What up, Jeff? Where all of these books, we're raffling off Doc's book, my book. We're raffling off Veronica Conway's Black Mastery Program. We're raffling off Bobby's book. We're raffling off coaching sessions. Listen, we haven't given out any numbers for the raffle yet because we only got barely 10 people to join the raffle. You guys want all of this stuff we're trying to give away, you got to participate in the raffle. It's only $10. You go to my, PayPal? My PayPal account is zoewilliamsorders@gmail.com. You send us $10. We're going to send you a number. And we're going to raffle this thing off in a couple weeks. So we need you guys to support this movement. This music is beautiful, by the way. Oh, Alita Adams feel right now. I feel you. I figure deals. Listen, we got to take a quick break. But when we come back, today's topic is going to be phenomenal. Join us, the Zoe What Morning Show. We'll be back in 2.2. Holla.
V.
What did you play opposite Andy, Eric? Do you remember?
Andy and I worked as two employees at a network.
Okay. Oh, you're forgetting the other thing.
I played a news anchor, and he played a reporter.
Okay, but the other thing you did, the thing you did on the Andy Dick show, who did you play to Andy?
Oh, is that going to play my sister?
You played his wife, Denise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played his wife.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that, Elijah?
Nothing's wrong with it.
He's got a great range as an actor.
Yeah, it just was funny.
Encounters with Eric and Eliza Roberts, Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Hey, I'm Dean Kane, and you are watching T Radio V. I'm watching it too. Right now. Seriously.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
But we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Hey, hello. This is David Faustino, and you are watching T Radio V. Do you see what I'm saying? It's television crossed with radio. It's all together. It's weird. Radio's in the middle of it. It's amazing. You're watching it. Go.
Love and marriage.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Why is a white guy like me co-hosting a black radio show? I think toxic relationships cause you to take poorer care of yourself. That if you can recognize danger, if you can pause, if you can take some breaths, refocus, and engage, you might be able to dodge a bullet that you're going to send or coming towards you. One of the things that men don't get is that often women need to vent first to clear their mind. So today's topic is sustainability, and I'm going to take a left turn but bring it back hopefully within 30 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm on the board of advisors for Dr. Oz's. He has a foundation called Health Corps, which is about teaching inner city kids how to eat well and exercise and develop mental resilience. And one of the things that I tell them, and this is the problem I think with sustainability, is, the majority of people live in fear and anger. And when people live in fear and anger, their mind is constricted. What I've told Dr. Oz's people is people in the inner city, they need comfort for the death that's around them. And until you find a way to give them a way to comfort themselves, they're not going to sustain anything. And so also what I would say to people who are proponents of sustainability, we got some real fire and brimstone kind of people here today about it, what you have to realize is that most people who can stick to their passion and stick to their goals are able to stay focused, and when people start to butt into your life, you're able to sort of stay on it. But 90% of people, when you ask them to do yes to something, they have to say no to all the people around them. And most of the people around them don't take no kindly. So there needs to be a transition thing. If you're going to sustain anything, you got to realize that the leaders of these movements have no problem standing up for what they believe in, but the 90% of people who are just trying to survive, you got to find a transition program, because as soon as they try and do something, and all those unsolicited critics in their life come at them, what are you doing this for? They'll back down. And that's a missing link, I think, in all the sustainability movement for the 90% of people who are just trying to survive.
Wow. Well, Doc has set us up, as is commonplace. Let me just go right into it. Are we becoming a society of living mannequins? Why did I call us the Living Mannequin Show? Well, is it because of our over-reliance on plastic? How we can't get rid of it? As soon as they created it, this perfect molecule that never goes anywhere? Right? So I decided, what does it mean to be a sustainable society? And I did some research, and a lot of stuff came up. I mean, some real funky conspiratorial stuff came up. Agenda 21, you know, a bunch of stuff like that, and Rockefeller, and Ted, what's my man, CNN?
Turner.
Ted Turner, Bill Gates. Hey, if we just, I'm just vaccines and, and Medicare and healthcare, then we can reduce the population. Population control came up. A lot of stuff came up. And the way we frame these shows, we always say, okay, this is society as a whole. And because we black folk, there's some black folk in the world. Some of us.
A few.
Right? It always comes back to, okay, well, if black people aren't writing their own social narrative, then that means we're following the narrative that is given to us. And it's so now look at it this way. Just like Monopoly. The game of Monopoly is about acquisition. Who are greater at acquiring things than black folk? The number one consumers in the world. Right? So now are black people part of the problem? Part of the sustainability question? And when do we wake up and go, well, wait a minute. We're contributing to the mess, right? How do we figure this out? So today's topic is about sustainability, and what I want to do is educate the public. I want us to understand what sustainability is, why it's important for us to get off of this concept of materialism, endless consumption. We really got to define this, right? So with that said, I have an august panel, right? Starting with Jeff Brown, always late.
But we're always right on time.
But always right on time.
But it's sustainable.
But it's sustainable, yes. I'm starting with Doc Barham, who brought in a lot of these guys, which I appreciate. Thank you, Doc.
Thanks for letting me do that.
We got Kevin, one of the smartest dudes I know, only one that I could spar with.
And he nice with them things, too.
Don't knock us.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't knock us right on.
And then we got the homeboy Craig Shields, who just showed. That's Craig Shields over there in the corner.
What up, Craig?
Right?
Nice to meet y'all.
Lydia, author, Lydia L. from the House of L. She might be kin to Jor-El in them.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful, Jesus. Right? But we want to talk about it. What is sustainability? Why do we have to create a sustainable society? It has consumption. I haven't forgotten about him. Okay. That's the Metal homeboy.
Oh, shit.
From Metal. You need to come on out to Metal, too. Okay. What I want to do is ask Doc to introduce his crew. Thank you, Jeff. I'm sorry. Doc, can you give a quick breakdown on who these two gentlemen are and how they can contribute to the conversation, please?
Well, Craig Shields is one of the most informed people that I know in the area of clean tech, sustainable technologies, and he's the author of several books, and he's a wonderful, how would I say this? You're extremely knowledgeable. You know an enormous number of people who are in the sustainability and renewable technology community, and also you do a lot of work vetting business plans, technologies, patents, new possibilities for sustainable technology. And I don't meet a lot of people like that because there really is he can speak to it, but there is a lot of well-intended things, but a lot of garbage. And over here is Josh Isaacson. Josh is actually a budding filmmaker, and he's working right now on a television show that's called Atticus Activist, which is sort of like a spoof, and it has an environmental theme to it, an environmentalist theme.
And there you have it.
Yep.
There's our crew. So can somebody give me a definition for sustainability? What is it, and why is it important? Craig Shields.
I knew this was going to be a hoot. I am so happy to be here with you guys this morning. So, loosely put, you could say that sustainability is the life processes by which we serve our own needs here and now, while understanding that there are going to be generations to come who need to be respected. In other words, we can't We can't leave this planet a mess just simply because we're greedy.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people think, when we think of the ocean, when we think of oxygen, we think this shit is gonna be
Endless.
here forever. It's limitless. We can do whatever we want to it right now. But what you're saying is there has to be inbuilt a responsibility looking forward, almost like Social Security, right? So there's an environmental Social Security that should be taking place, and most people are not even thinking about it because they just live for today. They live for right now. But how do you undo the programming of, say, capitalism? Capitalism is inherently individual. It's an individualistic movement. It's me, mine, what I want, what I need to do. How do you undo that? How do you plant that seed within that kind of society? Jeff?
I don't know. It's kind of far gone. I mean, almost like on how do you turn the Titanic around on a dime? I think you got to capitalism, as is proven by history, eventually eats itself. And what you got to do is figure out where you're going to be when it gets through eating. So when we come back from the break, if y'all hear that, you can't hear that. It's hot too. You can hear. Y'all hear it out here? Oh shit. Okay. When we come back from the break, I would imagine the next road would be, where are we going to sit when the shit hits the fan? Where are you going to be sitting? Because it's going to hit the shit. The feces is headed toward the rotary oscillator as we speak.
Okay, and when we come back, we're going to bring the female voices in.
Absolutely.
We've got some females, and they're going to talk about it. Ronnie Khan, We'll be back at 2.2 So What Mornings.
Boycott these motherfuckers, we can shut it down. I got some real shit to tell you. Shut it down. Boycott these motherfuckers, we can shut it down.
What it do is your man Money B from Digital Underground asking everybody to check out the Going Way Back show, your home for classic hip hop, raw and uncut. Join me
and me, DJ Always,
as well as Ty Teasy, bringing you the old school new news every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here
on T Radio V.
That's right, Radio in TV.
Now you done heard a lot of talk about me and my niggas. Them outlaw worldwide my figures. From triumph to tragedy, to right back on top, and niggas still mad at me for pushing that big truck on 24. My square feet in ATL game lockjaw. Now that's what my nigga got shot for, being too motherfucking raw for this fuck baller. See the darkness, see the light, he wanna kill it. Misery loves company, and that's the real shit. But in 2004.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Crazy Bone. Man, I'm the bum Keith G, man. And whenever you sitting at home and can't shake the monkey off your back, yeah, then just know every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Right. You can tune in to the Quick Fix and get your fix on, man. Right here on TRadioV.com, baby. Radio and TV. Dog, how they gonna see us on the radio then? Radio, I don't know. Or is it TV and radio? But it's one of them. I gotta figure this radio and TV thing out though, bro. I don't understand. I'm gonna tell my mom how she gonna see us. Get it together.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
And within this biosphere, there are plants and animals. Plants produce oxygen and food, which are consumed by the animals. And in return, the animals produce fertilizer and CO2, carbon dioxide, which are used by the plants. And we have a cycle that is well balanced. So this is a very quick cycle. We eat every day and we breathe every second. But it works very well. Then they agreed on the fact that this system, the biosphere, is open with respect to energy. So this means that energy from the sun comes in and radiations come out. And they also agreed on the fact that this system is closed with respect to matter. So maybe you remember this very famous phrase from Lavoisier that says, nothing is created, nothing disappears, everything is only transformed. So this is also known as the first law of thermodynamics, the law of conservation of matter. And it means that except for a few satellites and meteorites, all the matter that was on Earth 4 billion years ago is still here today. It has changed form and the molecule reorganized themselves over time. So for example, take an iPhone and wait for 1 million years, it's very likely that you will get a pile of dust. The third one is that we physically inhibit nature's ability to run the natural cycles. So how do we do that? For example, by chopping trees at a faster rate that they can grow, by systematically destroying ecosystems and replacing them with parking lots, roads, buildings, etc., so that nature cannot run its natural cycles anymore. So these are 3 ecological root causes, and once again there is no priority order. The fourth one is social and can actually be the most important of all. So we create in our society barriers to people meeting their basic human needs worldwide. That's the fourth one. So we will unpack in another video this notion of basic human needs. It's a very interesting one, and these are things like creativity, identity, participation, and so on. So how do we do that? Well, for example, if you purchase a product that is manufactured in a sweatshop in a developing country, indirectly you support the business, and indirectly you contribute to poor working conditions in this factory and to the fact that these people are unable to meet their basic human needs.
And we are back with that incredible information, made even enhanced by the ambiguous European accent. I don't know where that dude is from.
Where's he from, Jeff?
I don't know. Sri Lanka, Arabia.
Sri Lanka, Arabia?
Stanopel. I don't know where that dude. Stanopel. I don't know where that dude was from. But you know, when you hear those, that or British, you never want. Really, as a matter of fact, I tell you what, splendid. After the show, maybe get some tea and crumpets. Discuss the Western American Negro in his natural habitat. But between then and now, Ronnie Kahn, which is what I love to call her, the Miss Veronica Conway, the well-informed, always very deep, wonderfully insightful individuals on the phone right now. Veronica, could you please weigh in, say hi to the panel, and tell us what you feel about us consuming ourselves into the frickin' dark ages again?
Yes, of course. Hello, beautiful Jeff and beautiful crew in there. You know, it's interesting, you know, and I always relate things through the lens of our community because, you know, my purpose is around our community. It's around helping our community recover from that which we've experienced here on this planet. And I find it fascinating that, you know, after like centuries of unchecked greed and capitalism on this planet, which has fundamentally trained the planet, primarily the indigenous and melanated people of the planet, to be consumers. I mean, that's been the whole goal of capitalism, is to, instead of enslaving us, it's like, just get us to buy some shit. And so now that has become unsustainable. There are so many things that have happened in white supremacy that have made stuff unsustainable. The prison industrial complex is unsustainable. This rampant consumerism as a function of capitalism is unsustainable. So now, I get it, so now we've got to move to a sustainability movement, but we have to understand that the root cause of that is unchecked greed. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Okay, but before we move further, I just want to throw something in I heard in the KRS-One speech. We are misusing the term white supremacy. because the root word of supremacy is supreme, and in order to be supreme, you have to be close to God. And so when you hanging and raping and killing and pillaging and burning, that's not supreme. That's
Closer
just,
to the devil than
that's
than
closer
God.
to the other dude. So yeah. So
Right.
white supremacy is when white people help you out, like this
Well,
gentleman.
let's just call it aggression. Let's call it white
Oh,
aggression.
and
on the
barbarism
planet.
and over capitalism and yeah, absolutely.
Let's get the other lady. I want to
Yes.
hear her perspective
Lydia.
as well.
Lydia L.
Lydia L. of the House of L.
Yes, that would be me. I actually agree with what you said, Veronica, that the root cause to our lack of a future in true sustainability is probably greed. I saw a great article in the Wall Street Journal called Blame It on Mr. Rogers. And as you know, about 20 years ago, there was a shift from really teaching people on how it is to be contributable members of society, where we have a cycle, to now looking at getting a trophy. You always had to get recognition, and you had to get some form of approval for what it is that you have done. So we're no longer looking for purpose, we're now looking for approval. And that's where you get things like the 10th place trophy. And so the article goes on to say that, parents now are coming in and saying, well, my child tried, so why can't they pass? And so when you continue that mindset, you now have people who think, hey, I can just do this and I can just try and I can just say that this is where I want to be and I don't have to care about what's coming behind me.
With my C+ ass.
Right.
Yeah.
My purpose, I'm not looking for purpose. I'm not looking to contribute and to leave a legacy. I'm looking to get something for myself. And so that greed continues to inflate and flourish. And, we're left with people who just want what they want when they want it.
Mr. Joshua?
Okay, well, I think that it's going to be up to my generation, the millennials, to kind of set the standard. The whole environmental message is, given it's dire and extreme and everything, but I think you got to kind of make fun of it, to be honest, to bring to light what's really going on. Comedy always kind of soothes everything, and when you can, bring awareness to it in a comedic yet interesting way, I think people will pay attention to it and will take action, especially my generation. That was the whole point of why I came up with the series, was to bring awareness and have fun at the same time.
Craig, you got to fight.
Well, here's what I would say about this. Speaking of capitalism, philosophically, this boils down to the maxim, as they say, let us ignore the needs of others. So, and this is a fundamentally, when I heard this when I was a young man, this was before anybody had begun to use the word sustainable. But now, when you look at this thing, capitalism and sustainability are fundamentally incompatible. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is, as we speak in this room, and everybody listening at home, there are more than 200,000 groups whose purpose is environmental and social justice. That's an enormous amount of horsepower. So there's an enormous amount of good going on at the same time, which is what makes me think that, one of the great thinkers of the 20th century said, life is either a thrilling adventure or it's nothing at all. And God, I love that.
Okay, Craig.
All right,
Shit.
Craig.
God, I
his
love that.
ass in him.
Shit.
But
Go ahead, Kev.
No, I just want to say there's a two-part thing to that. It's the greed by the corporations, but it's also the laziness on the masses that allow that to happen. Because if you can just order some food and then send it to you in styrofoam and plastic, and it's easier than going inside your kitchen and cooking, then you're just going to do that. But then you create what's called an eco footprint, which most people don't understand, and that's all the things that you create or that you use throughout the week. It can be judged weekly or monthly, but usually throughout the week that you throw away, that can't be recycled, that can't be used again. And so people don't look at their eco foot. If you just look at all the trash that you throw out, you would be able to just to see, like, you throw away so much crap, little sauce cups and little things of this nature. And it just adds up, constantly adds up. And so it's the laziness of the people. The people were just willing to just get up, go inside your kitchen, just take out a pan and cook. You know what I'm saying? Just just open up something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of just having to go and just crack a
See,
soda can.
This comes back to the concept of a dumb society. We just got to call it what it is. Before I can give them,
Uneducated society.
yeah, before I can give them lazy, we have to go dumb first, because dumb is part of the movement. Uninformed, dumb, blind.
I like dumb.
Dumb means
Ignorant.
you don't have the
Ignorant.
capacity.
Thanks, Craig.
Dumb is you don't have the capacity, though.
Ignorant.
Right.
Naive.
Yeah.
We got to put all of that on the table before we can call them lazy, because this is something about America. America says this: I'm going to give you all of the choices. It's the illusion of choice, right? You think you're choosing, like willpower. I choose this. No, who created the choice? You didn't. It's just some shit put in front of you, and then you choose between what's put in front of you. So you have to factor that portion in.
Like you do your kids' clothes.
It is that too, but there was a show that came on. There was a TV station called Planet Green in about 2007. They did away with it now, but when the oil thing was really on high, they were really pushing this Green Planet thing, and they had a TV show with Ludacris and Tommy Lee, where they would go around the country in these these buses and try to get people to turn eco. And so it was hilarious just to see. It was a contest between the two to see who could turn more people green. And so they would go to these different towns, and you would just see, Ludacris had the hardest time just trying to change people, just to give up the man. All right, what if you just gave up one fast food thing a week?
No.
Wait a minute.
Okay. One of the things that's going on is there's a wonderful book called Spiral Dynamics, and what it talks about is that different cultures have different levels of development. Sustainability, renewable technologies, things like that actually are the cutting edge of what's coming. So they use colors in spiral dynamics to determine levels of development. So for example, orange is where our culture currently is at, and where we're headed is to green. Orange and green have different value sets, and that's why they clash with one another, and that's why, for example, he had difficulty changing people's minds. What actually has to happen is like the maxim, as within, so without. When people realize that coming from a place of greed, that comes from a place of fear. So your choices are coming from fear. When you begin to move into green, what actually happens is you begin to move out of fear-based relationships. You move out of fear-based thinking, fear-based everything. And you begin to move into things like connectivity.
Do you know what you're
making
saying?
altruistic choices.
Are you guys listening to Doc right now? Do you know what he's saying? We've got to deconstruct this whole motherfucker. Ideologically.
It's actually more about more about elevating, evolving, uplifting is what it is.
It has to deconstruct.
And those people the people who are, say, like at the green level, what behooves them is to learn how to communicate to the people who are at the orange level so they can get it.
Jeff and Doc?
Right?
I think what everybody's tiptoeing around is the big dumb cyclops in this.
What is the big dumb cyclops?
The big dumb cyclops is the monster that the elite have created, which is us all. And what us all are complicit in with our constant consumerism is pushing towards this big implosion that right now the dollar is being propped up by behavior. That's it. That's
Or
it.
belief. Yeah.
The behavior. There's nothing else that's backing it. And when they can figure out what the hell to do with all these people when the shit hits the fan, they're gonna let you know that the dollar ain't shit. Now, after
you can't argue that.
That's right.
After that, we are acting like we are 30 years, 40 years back. This conversation would have much more gravity 30 years ago. Right now, we got to figure out what we're going to do when the elite decide, you know what, we fucked this up enough and we've got Mars just where we need it.
That's a really intelligent angle, because real wealth is what you consider gold, oil, soil.
Yes.
That's real wealth.
It's paper bullshit.
So what has happened is we've put more wealth or more meaning into the fiat currency, and that's what's created this raping of the real wealth.
Exactly.
And now what are you going to do with this dollar once it doesn't have any value. Who owns what?
Actually, there is no raping of the real wealth. It has remained where it is. The raping has come with the coupons, with the you know, it's all $1 is. $1.
The biosurvival tickets.
Yes. $1 is just. We just all agree that $1 is too much to pay for a paperclip and not enough to buy a house. Once that agreement is broken, the shit's gonna hit the fan so hard that we are going to have this conversation after the smoke clears. I really believe that.
Okay, Jeff.
But
Stop scaring people. Listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. I did a little research. Somebody said we need 50% more Earth for all of the resources that we're taking out of it. 50% more Earth. Where are we going to get a half a planet from? We in trouble, goddammit. We in trouble. We'll be back at 2.2 Zo What Morning Show.
Again and expend more materials and more energy. Well, as rational as that may seem in the physical world, when it comes to the market world, it is not only explicitly irrational, it is not even an option. It is technically impossible to produce the best of anything if a company is to maintain a competitive edge and hence remain affordable to the consumer. Literally everything created and set for sale in the global economy is immediately inferior the moment it is produced, for it is a mathematical impossibility to make the most scientifically advanced, efficient, and strategically sustainable products. This is due to the fact that the market system requires that cost efficiency, or the need to reduce expenses, exist at every stage of production, from the cost of labor to the cost of materials and packaging, and so on. This competitive strategy, of course, is to make sure the public buys their goods rather than from a competing producer, which is doing the exact same thing to also make their goods both competitive and affordable. This immutably wasteful consequence of the system could be termed intrinsic obsolescence. However, this is only one part of a larger problem. A fundamental governing principle of market economics, one that you will not find in any textbook, by the way, is the following. Nothing produced can be allowed to maintain a lifespan longer than what can be endured in order to continue cyclical consumption. In other words, it is critical that stuff break down, fail, and expire within a certain amount of time. This is termed planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence is the backbone of the underlying market strategy of every goods-producing corporation in existence. While very few, of course, would admit to such a strategy outright, what they do is mask it within the intrinsic obsolescence phenomenon just discussed, while often ignoring or even suppressing new advents in technology which might create a more sustainable, durable good. So, if it wasn't wasteful enough that the system inherently cannot allow the most durable and efficient goods to be produced, planned obsolescence deliberately recognizes that the longer any good is in operation, the worse it is for sustaining cyclical consumption and hence the market system itself. In other words,
Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching T Radio V.
Yo, what's up, everybody out there? This is Crazy Bone.
I am the Bum Keith G.
And right now you watching TRadioV.com.
TV and radio.
Yes. Radio and TV.
Oh, yeah. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, we're Marissa and Juliana Stove, the Stove Twins, and you're watching T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Hi, this is Casey Abrams from American Idol, and you are watching T Radio V. That was too corny.
I loved it. Hey, what's up? I am Scott.
And I am Ken. We are not the Chemical Brothers, but we are the Crystal Method, and you are watching T Radio V.
T Radio V. Radio in TV.
Radio in TV.
So, listen, I love humanity, right? I love humanity. But because I'm a brother, I love brothers and sisters. Now, in our community, I always bring it back to our community, right? I think Malcolm X said it, you know, before we can really sit down with other folk, we got to clean our own house out. We got to get our stuff together. And then we'll have something of worth to be able to talk to other cultures and ethnic groups about. But until we get that together, then we'll always be subject to the people that we're trying to do business with, because we're not coming from a place of power. We're not coming from a position of power. So what's important for me with regards to this conversation is, if America is suffering from a disease called capitalism and consumerism, what are black people suffering from? When you look at the African American community being the #1 consumer in the world, $1.7 trillion in consumption for 2015 alone. That's more than a lot of countries. The gross national product of a lot of countries around the world, African Americans are consumers in that cycle that was just broken down. Consumers. And the thing that hurts me more is that in our consumption comes our definition as a people.
But after you said all that, you ain't got them new Jordans there.
Do you see the mentality? Mm-hmm. I'm somebody because of what I've acquired. What I've accumulated makes me better than you. Now that's a sickness that has to be dealt with. So how do we unravel that social knot?
Unravel the coupons that these crazy niggas is using. That's what I'm telling you. Unless and until Puffy is being chased by the same militia dude that a homeless black dude is, black people are not going to wake up from that sickness. There's no, you can't put this in a bow and, well, if we all just stop and recycle, that is not, in my opinion, the answer. We are going to get, the shit is going, we're going to have to be chased, and it's going to have to get back to some Mad Max, Walking Dead type shit, and then we'll get where we're going. Now, if Lydia, if you have a different...
I do agree. I think the problem comes with how we look at ourselves and what it is that we have been told we are. You know, when we look at, my family is Jamaican, and I have various friends from all islands, and those actual places are considered third world. Yet they do better for sustainability and the way that we can reproduce and grow and live off of the things that we are putting into the earth, and then put it back so that it can do the same for somebody else. But we are told that that's third world, and that we should aspire to what is happening in first world countries, where capitalism and consumerism is getting higher and higher. So much so that they are now having to find places to take what it is that they can't do anything with here to other countries. You know, when we look at the perception that we have for Africa and different places, like, people are looking at this and saying, I don't want to be like that. Yet we have cultures within our community, and as far as where we've come from, that have done excellent jobs at sustaining themselves, yet and still, despite the perception that we have. But, you know, us here in this country, we think, like Zoe said, we have to acquire things to now have some type of status, right? Which goes back to that 10th place trophy and what it is that people say, you only get kudos for what it is that you have. And so now we're coming here and we don't think of things like, you know, let's eat healthy. You know, we think McDonald's is pumped how much more in our communities than in other places.
McLucifers? Yeah.
Right, like, you know, but things like organic and such, you know, there's a guy, I can't remember his name, who is using public property in communities to grow produce.
Oh yeah, the sidewalk. Like
yeah, he's using the land, but you know that's actually against the law. You're not supposed to do that.
Call those eco-terrorists. Yeah,
right. But look at what it's doing, and our own community is looking at that like, man, I don't want to have that here. I'd rather go to In-N-Out, or I'd rather go to some other fast food place that isn't going to give us the nutrition that we need, because we don't have a priority on keeping ourselves and sustaining ourselves in that way.
Joshua.
Okay, so I'm about to
Excellent.
blow your mind. You ready? Okay. So it all
you broke that shit up.
stems
You better come with it.
from. It all stems from the Kennedy assassination. Now, given this is theory and conspiracy theory and however you want to look at it, but a week after JFK was assassinated, he was actually going to pass a bill that was going to tax all foreign oil and essentially put a stop to our consumption of oil. But the powers that be, Bush, Lyndon B. Johnson, the guys that actually helped orchestrate his assassination, look at what they did in that we're now dependent upon oil because of them. And if that whole assassination didn't take place, America would be a totally different place.
Absolutely.
Wow, Doc.
I'm going to throw in some neuroscience here. We're all bathed in cortisol, which means our stress is up the yin-yang, and what happens is we've tried to reach for dopamine, which makes us feel good to ease the cortisol, when we really should be trying to build oxytocin and build community and connect with people.
Go ahead and rap, Doc. I like that. You rapping. Did
Because
you
it's-
hear the rap?
No, because it's only when you connect with people that you
Motherfucker
kind
was
of calm
rhyming.
down.
Thought it was White Rakim for a minute.
and it's it's interesting. That's why I wrote this book on listening. When people feel listened to and they feel felt, what happens is their cortisol goes down, their oxytocin goes up, and they're happier. In fact, someone told me something recently, and then I'd like to hear from Lydia, but I want to throw it back to Veronica because I'm sure she's chomping at the bit with any of this sort of stuff. Someone told me recently that people who are focused on being happy are takers and end up unhappy. People who are focused on goodness are givers and end up happy. So I want to throw that to Lydia and then Veronica.
Lydia?
I think I heard Kirk Franklin say that I don't want to be happy because that means something needs to be happening. And when we base our good or our happy emotions, or we say that is what we are trying to acquire, then there needs to be something around where you can get that energy. So if that thing goes away, now you can't sustain that, that plateau that you're at. But when you think of goodness, it's something that you have to do for someone else. When I give my daughter some food and she kills it, I mean, I have done something good for her, and now I have joy that is sustaining me, as opposed to just having that one event that has happened. And I think because we are looking for things to make us happy, instead of trying to aspire to make somebody else, that goes to the goodness. The Bible speaks about goodness and mercy. You being able to do that for somebody else, it will keep you. It will keep you for the rest of your life.
One thing I want to throw in, and then I want to hear from Veronica. It seems like I just lost it.
You having an old man moment? It's fine.
I don't know if it's my ADD or my Alzheimer's.
Miss BPA, you probably had some cereal in a plastic bowl.
One of the things that we've been talking about here, I find...
Doc, we got to go to Veronica first.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll come back to you. VC?
VC.
Yeah. I think if we're going to put this in the context as melanated people, I think that we're highly susceptible, we're highly programmable, we're highly hypnotizable, and we're not terribly prone to strategy in our community. In many respects, black people, given their onslaught of 400 years of really violent, negative, brutal conditioning in this country and on the planet, we're kind of like the children of Israel, right? We like 50, 60 years ago, we kind of got set free. Like we got out of Jim Crow. We're out of having our ass beat every day. And so I think we need to be soothed. And I think that what we do on the day-to-day are really soothing behaviors. The consumption is like a soothing behavior. So maybe like the children of Israel, right, who, after they've wandered for 40 years, they finally woke up. Maybe it's our time to wake up.
Wow, that's good stuff. Doc, 30 seconds, then we got to go to break.
Sure. I find that beliefs are structured like this: if, then. So if I do this, then I'll get that.
If, then.
Okay? They are because statements is what a belief is. So what she's talking about in terms of hypnotizable, if you sit in front of a television set, which actually entrains your brainwave activity to a hypnotic state of alpha wave brainwave activity, you watch commercials all day long. They literally are structured. if this, then that.
Correct.
If you do this, buy this burger, then you'll be this loving it, happy. If you do this, then you get that. And it's conditioning that actually goes on all day long, 24/7. People spend literally part-time job watching television each week. If you learn how to be able to become aware of that kind of stuff, what happens is you make an investment in yourself and you inoculate yourself against that kind of brainwashing, mind control, programming, that kind of thing.
Wow. Listen, we got to take a quick break. But listening to all of this information makes me feel like to be off the grid, totally sustainable, right? Solar energy, in-house water system, all of that, collecting rainwater, you know, an earth ship basically, is anti-government. That's what it's starting to sound like. Because what I'm hearing you guys say is the coal in the steam engine of this mug is consumerism. And once you take yourself off the grid, where you don't have to go to the store, where you don't have to, everything is self-contained within your own little movement, you David Koresh. Listen, I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back at 2.2.
There you go. Airships. These are all airships.
The state of New Mexico gave us 2 acres to do any kind of experimental architecture we wanted to.
They don't look like one. See, they're built into the earth.
In New Mexico, we've put aside hundreds of acres to test nuclear bombs. So Mike, the architect, went to the legislature in New Mexico and said, like, hey, let us experiment with housing. And they actually gave us 2 acres to set aside to do whatever we want and experiment any way we want. So we're doing things that are not normally accepted by counties and permitting and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely no restrictions.
No restrictions. The county comes and just kind of observes once in a while. This is our bottle making lab for the academy, because we have a school here where we teach students how to build airships and all our techniques. And this is where we cut bottles in half, then we tape them together and they make these beautiful little bricks that light comes through. Home Depot, you probably pay $5 for a brick like that. So then we're gonna find a matching one, tape them together, and then it's a brick for free. And the county brings us bottles, the county brings us tires, the county brings us mulch. We use trash. We use whatever society is done with, and we're going to use it in housing. This is going to be a huge complex where we can house students in the future. Mike wants to put a river through it. So yeah, we decided to make an outdoor amphitheater because sometimes we have 60 students here.
Why tires?
Oh, tires are just free, and they're gigantic bricks. And filled with dirt, they just make this incredible structure. So we use tires for everything we can. Tires are walls, tires are foundations, tires are footings. They are big, strong, free bricks. This whole structure has been made by students over the years, and it's just all made out of bottles, cans, and tires. Beautiful.
So this is
going to be student housing.
So this is going to be like an apartment.
Yeah, and there's going to be 30-foot trees growing in here. I mean, hopefully we'll be, you know, picking figs and oranges in here. Easy to build with bottles and cans, too. Wow. Cans are just a really low-tech, easy way to build walls and forms. You just lay the can in, you put a layer of cement in and lay the cans in, another layer, lay them in. And the cans are not the strength or insulation or anything. They just help establish the matrix of cement, which is the strength. The alternative would be just a solid cement wall. So think of how much more cement you'd have to use if you didn't have these cans. Our county permitting lady, she came out just to do her walkthrough, and just the way we built the stairs wouldn't be permitted, you know? And it's super strong. There's no reason it wouldn't be permitted, but it's just not in their way of thinking to permit a staircase like this.
This is Quick Fix Radio.
Quick Fix Radio.
Yeah. Check it out, y'all. We back in the building. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What it do? We got some super special guests up in the place,
In
man.
the building, we got all 5 live in the building. Bone Thugs in the building. Everybody.
We up in here
Tonight, y'all. What's going on?
Hey man, I had to come see what this TV radio what this all about. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
We got Game on the line. Game, what's going down, baby?
What up? What up, Craig?
What's going on? Oh man, we got EPO Dylan. Who is this on the phone with us?
Yo, what up, man? It's Akon.
Akon in the building. Who is this on the line?
Be real.
We got Be Real. Be Rizzy. Who this we got on the line?
This is Ty Dolla $ign right here.
What up, Ty Dolla $ign in the building. And thanks to all the fans for stopping by.
The Quick Fix with Crazy Bone, right here on T Radio V.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
The whole thing is they don't. Wow, what a big one today. Let's talk about electricity, which is basically what humans are. We are electric modules, and electricity takes the path of least resistance. Always. It always takes the path of least resistance. The way that it is harnessed is by putting it in what is called hallways, if you will, which are circuits. And on those circuits, you make the electricity work its way back to the earth. The problem is, as humans, we are not all the same components. The people in this room have obviously, through, I don't know, osmosis, selective, I don't know, a selection, I don't know how it happened, that we are different than most people, but we are transistors and diodes and resistors and half-wave and full-wave rectifiers, while our cohorts, the other people we share the earth with, are just hunks of fucking metal. And as these hunks of metal, the concept of, hey, don't put your trash with your don't put your recyclable shit with your regular shit, does not register to this hunk of metal. And it's like, which is for, and I, you know, I don't mind making people feel uncomfortable. Go ahead. The term nigga is reserved generally for people in dark skin who only give a shit about themselves and only themselves for right now. They don't give a shit about themselves for later. So their favorite phrase is fuck that. Why don't you pay your cable bill? Oh, nigga, fuck that. I got my cable in my mama name. So basically, the earth has its cable in its mama name right now. Okay? Y'all is like, fuck that. Recycle? Fuck that. I'm finna do this. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna have to happen is, again, and I hate to be the harbinger of gloom and doom, but it's what's gonna have to happen is we are going to have to find a way to angle these hunks of metal through the halfway rectifiers and transistors in the room. And what that's going to take is a short to ground, which I think will be the crash of the dollar. I'm done now.
Wow. The intellectual rant. Sometimes you lost, but then he brings you right back. Like, oh,
where is he going with this Farrakhan man?
I love it.
Wait, so how do we...
Earth, the cable bill is in Earth's mama name.
That's a keeper. So look.
Oh my God.
If what we represent is what's needed in the world but unwelcome, so how do you get it to be more welcome? You got to teach. Yeah, but you got to have students show up to teach.
Yeah, but so you can't. An old dog, new tricks. Come on, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But new generations are coming up. We got millennials. We're starting to think about the future. And when we have children, if we start a culture that shows them that they need to be contributable members of society, and that our future needs to be one where they just don't think about themselves today, but they actually think about who they want to be tomorrow and who's coming up behind them, then we can eradicate that. Veronica brought up the children of Israel. The reason why they were in the wilderness for 40 years is because all the old people had to die off so that the new people who came in didn't remember what slavery was like. So we can't make a change with what is here, but we do have an opportunity to change who's coming. So we, the few conscious people that are there, we just start teaching our young people. And over time, you will see that change come about.
Wow. Absolutely.
Let's get Veronica in and then Josh. Veronica, are you there?
Well, I guess my question is that if we didn't break it, is it our job to fix it?
Yeah. The answer is yes.
Yes.
If we didn't break it, is it our job to fix it?
It's our responsibility.
Define we. You had to define we.
Well, it just goes back to the term stewardship. Humans are the stewards of Earth, period. And so what? You had a retarded generation or a retarded 6 generations in a row that decided to just piss in the aquarium called Earth, right? The generations after have to take responsibility of cleaning up what the irresponsible generations messed up.
Or
it's just simple.
Somebody has to be the adult.
Somebody has to be the adult.
It's like an airplane, okay? If the dude's in the front, if the pilot dies or decides, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna take my hands off the wheel. Do the other 187 of us just sit here and crash? Or does somebody... Right. That's what I said in 9/11. That's why they didn't do those Southwest planes, because niggas fly Southwest. And I'll be damned if you going with a box cutter, really?
Even though I'm the Jew in the room, someone will probably find the reference for this, and whether it's a Talmud or something. But what was the saying? If not this, what? If not you, who? If not now, when?
Well, the thing
no.
is,
go ahead.
I was just saying, going back to that corporate thing and capitalism. Capitalism is to capitalize on an advantage, and to me, being lazy is an advantage. So
it's something to be capitalized on.
Exactly. If you don't want to take your trash out, and I say, well, give me $5, I'll take your trash out for you, then I'm capitalizing on your laziness, and that's how. And this is what they do. They give you everything that you don't need to even get up anymore. They have apps right now where you don't have to go anywhere. Postmates and DoorDash. You don't have to do anything. You can literally have everything delivered to your house. So, yeah, fast food, everything. So it is the education. It's ignorance, because there's information that trickles out there that people can grasp on and can use, and they just choose to ignore it because they're being lazy. But then it's also nescience, that they don't have any information. It's literally lack of knowledge. They don't know.
Tell them what nescience means.
Nescience means lack of knowledge, lack of information. And so, so a lot of the poor people in the world don't have that information on what to do, and they keep it that way. This is why that station, Planet Green, was taken off the air. It was literally once the oil thing got back good, they literally did away with that, because it was literally teaching you how to be sustainable and live with the planet.
Josh?
Okay, so bottom line...
Then Craig.
it is up to millennials and generations after to take over and undo what generations before us have done. Hence, why entertainment needs to be the core of how we're educating people. And because, essentially we're
Good
all
angle.
sheep. And we will listen to or do what we're being told. And what we're being told right now is just kind of sit on our ass and, as Kevin's saying, just be lazy. But, if we can harness that and change the way of thinking and undo what we've been taught, then I think that's when change will be made.
If they had information like,
Go ahead, finish.
Just how the fish that they eat now, how the plastic that's being thrown away, how it all breaks down and the fish eventually eat it and it comes back up the food chain. And you
What's the name? What's the name of the documentary? Very powerful documentary. What is it called?
Plastic Paradise.
Right.
And you can check that out on YouTube. And it talks about the Great Pacific garbage patch, where all the trash that we throw away, it accumulates in the middle of the ocean. And it's literally...
It's an island.
Yeah, it's an island.
The size of, they said, at least Texas.
Two Texases. And so...
All the plastic from
plastic,
all of the
trash.
industrial countries of the world. Not just America. America plays a big part.
But everywhere.
But everywhere.
And that's actually what got me to be sustainable. Once I heard about that, and I could not believe that everything you throw away literally ends up in this place.
The young Asian girl that was walking on the beach, she was like, "You think this is sand?
It's all plastic.
But this is plastic."
They,
and they're on that island. There's over 2 million albatross that come there to breed. I mean, albatross, they're monogamous, and they come there and they only breed there. But when they open one up,
it had a marker cap in it.
Like,
it was
stomach full of
that was
plastic.
one thing. It had a big black marker cap that it swallowed, and among other little crab and plastic net that it swallowed. I mean, and so you're eating that.
Right, because people forget the human being is an apex predator.
Yes.
So whatever we're eating, whatever we're predating on, is being poisoned at the back end of what our conveniences.
Or whatever's being poisoned at the back end, we're eating.
We're eating it.
Plastic never breaks down, so if the fish are eating this, it constantly just breaks down into microscopic particles, and you're eventually eating that. And the what they call the BPA or biphenyl A.
Biphenyl A.
Yeah, biphenyl A. Bisphenol A.
Bisphenol A. Yeah.
Which mimics. It shuts down your endocrine system. Your system that produces all your.
Kevin, tell them what that shit was created for at first. Bisphenol A. What it was created for at first.
Well, bisphenol was as birth
control.
Done deal. So it was created as birth control. They found out that it made plastic hard, and they put in everything plastic.
Yeah, because it wasn't strong enough to kill the baby. Said, well, fuck it. There's something else it does. It makes plastic hard. So now, when you're making a baby bottle, bisphenol A is in the plastic baby bottle.
And 94% of all humans on the planet have bisphenol A in their body.
Come on now. Just come on. What are we doing?
Well, it's called bioaccumulation. So what you see is that what we put out there comes back into us. So I know that, for example, if you go to the Environmental Working Group website and you take a look at what's in your water, you'll find that there are over 30 different toxins in the water, including radioactive material, materials that come from dry cleaning, arsenic, heavy metals, all kinds of things like that. And I know, working with my clients, when we send them out to do tissue mineral analysis, they come back and we can tell them exactly what's going on in their bodies in terms of the heavy metals that they have, like mercury, lead, cadmium, all of these kinds of things that throw their endocrine system out of balance, which is related to all of their glands, like their thyroid and their hormones and their testicles. And then what does that lead to is people going, I don't have it anymore, and now I got to go get some prescription drugs.
Wow.
Then accumulate even more.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where this inner world is reflecting with that outer world.
Yeah.
And the two are not separate.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, another quick break, but Jesus, if you're not learning from this show, maybe you have autism.
No, maybe you're just a big hunk of fucking metal.
Maybe your brain is plastic. I don't know. But we're becoming a living mannequin. If you're not paying attention, That's what we're becoming as a society. And that's why we wanted to do a show on sustainability. We'll be back in 2.2 to wrap it up. This was fire.
Radio V.
What did you play opposite Andy, Eric? Do you remember?
Andy and I worked as two employees at a network.
Okay. Oh, you're forgetting the other thing.
I played a news anchor, and he played a reporter.
Okay, but the other thing you did, the thing you did on the Andy Dick show, who did you play to Andy?
Oh, is that when I played my sister?
You played his wife, Denise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played his wife.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that, Eliza?
Nothing's wrong with it.
He's got a great range as an actor.
Yeah, it just was funny.
Encounters with Eric and Eliza Roberts, Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
But we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yo, what's up? This is your boy Kyle Master, and you're checking out T Radio V.
T Radio V.
T Radio V.
Hello, T Radio V. Love you guys. Radio in TV. Radio in TV. T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
This is Peter. Peter is a teacher. He's sure that he leads a sustainable life. He buys organic products at the supermarket, rides to work on a bike, and his lights use green electricity. But is that really sustainable living? Let's go back to the beginning. Even in the 18th century, people were interested in the environment. For example, Karl von Carlowitz realized that you shouldn't cut down more trees than will grow again to replace them. So he had recognized the basic principle of sustainability. Nowadays, sustainability is seen as a global concept. This can be explained with the help of the three-pillar model. The model is based on environmental, economic, and social considerations, which must always be regarded as belonging together. First, the environmental pillar. It includes, among other things, climate protection, which is widespread, protection of resources, and biodiversity. Also, food should be grown organically. That is, we should stop using pesticides. And farm animals should be given fodder produced on the farm. We must use natural resources more sparingly too. One of them is petrol, which we need for our cars. But sooner or later this resource will be exhausted, so there'll be no fuel for the cars. This is...
That garbage is coming from the big population centers of the world, and it is definitely collecting here in the middle of the Pacific.
It turns out the truth behind Garbage Island is stranger than the myth.
The request is always for a picture of the island of garbage, the trash island, and there is no such island. The debris is dispersed. I mean, let's talk about the largest single feature on our planet, which is the North Pacific Ocean.
Captain Charles Moore discovered the garbage patch in the late 1990s and founded the Algalita Marine Research Organization to study it.
Well, ocean basins are like a bathtub. You can think of them that way.
The ocean's currents in the Pacific move in a giant circle known as a gyre, kind of like a slow-motion whirlpool or toilet flushing. So over time, all of the debris that washes into the sea from the coasts of economic giants North America and Asia, or from ships, collect in a centralized zone from somewhere around twice the size of Texas to the size of the entire continental United States. The reason why there aren't any pictures of it is because it's basically invisible. You have to sail through it with a net to know it's there. Most of the debris is found beneath the surface.
No one had ever compared plastic in the ocean to the available food.
Lying near the western edge of the patch, Midway and the northwest Hawaiian Islands are situated like a fine-tooth comb in the path of the currents, continually collecting huge quantities of plastic and other trash that pass through.
Hey! See, it's easy to kind of just be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because most of us don't. Most of us don't. We don't know. And we just live, we consume, we shit where we eat, and we're all right. See, I look at it as this giant aquarium, right? And unless there's a filter, see, as human beings, we take care of our aquariums, right? We clean it out, we have filters, you know. We take the fish and the turtle out, and we scrub and clean and, you know, make sure that shit is working properly. Earth does not have that. I mean, it's almost what we have to do in order to make this thing work is it's the same analogy of a fish being able to clean his own aquarium.
Yes.
They have to get out and go, okay, let me fix my filter and no, but the fish have us. Who has us when it comes to the earth? Do aliens have to come? Like, you motherfuckers, shit.
They're the ones who are making all the plastic.
Right.
And once
I
they
think
get
that-
to a certain amount, they're going to come here, get the plastic, and bounce out.
I don't think so. I think Earth is one of those planets. I think when you fly by in your flying saucer, you kind of like roll up the window and lock the door. And just
Them
keep going.
motherfuckers. We in the wrong neighborhood. Don't tell me Earth is the Watts of the universe.
Earth is the ghetto of the galaxy.
Earth is the Watts of the universe.
Pull down the window
Shit.
shade, keep driving.
Earth is like Compton.
We'll be back. We'll be back when you get it together.
I am not coming to get your ass from Earth. I can tell you that right now.
That's a damn shame. Listen, we have a special guest on the line real quick. Your guy, what's his name?
Greg Wendt.
Greg Wendt. Do we have you, Greg? Greg.
Gregory?
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 You call him by his grandma? Grandma?
Gregory, baby, they're calling for you, baby. Gregory, if you don't get your ass up and answer the phone. Gregory, I know you hear me. Gregory?
Now do angry granny.
You think I'm fucking with you, Gregory? God damn it, you better bring my Buick back. You know I got to be at bingo at 6. I swear to God, Gregory, I swear to God, I'm going to tell you. You know what, Gregory? Your daddy ain't your real daddy. How about that?
If I don't get my car back, your daddy
Ain't your real daddy. I'm going to tell you the real story, goddammit.
Okay, that's enough. Hey, well, we're gonna have to check back in with Gregory. So, to wrap it up, let's summarize, because we got a little time here. I need some tips, and I want to come to you because I know you have this story about the electric car, right? Is that the story?
Actually, I've got a different story, but it's
We'll jump right in.
just
Come on,
as good
Craig.
as the
Come on, Craig
electric
Shields, author of Bullish on Renewable Energy. Go there, Greg.
Craig. That's okay. So I did have an experience last week that I thought the audience would kind of dig. So I'm a renewable energy guy, as you point out. So I've written books on the subject. I speak at conferences. I'm a consultant on the subject. And I do this because this is our consumption of fossil fuels is one of the reasons that we're destroying this planet just as fast as we possibly can. In terms of not only climate change, but ocean acidification, loss of biodiversity, and so forth and so on. So here I am at this conference Thursday. Now, normally these conferences are about technical matters, better, more efficient ways of making solar PV or wind turbines and so forth and so on. This has to do with economics. It's the Renewable Energy Finance Forum. These guys are about how do you make money with this stuff. And there's nothing the matter with that. If it's not sustainable in a normal capitalistic sense, it's not sustainable at all. Right. In other words, unless market forces push us in this direction, we ain't going there. So I don't object to that. But, so here I am, like a whole bunch of people, there may be 200 people in this audience. I'm checking my cell phone every once in a while to see what's going on in the world. It turns out President Obama rejected the Keystone XL pipeline, which is a big day for people like me and you. Mm-hmm. So the next time I get the microphone, I go, let me tell you what just happened on this thing. And I made this announcement. And I said, what this means, you could argue that this is symbolic. Yeah, but it's symbolic of something very important. We have an energy policy, and that energy policy embraces the 7 billion people on this planet, and it rejects the big money and power of the oil companies. This is huge. And I will tell you what, I'm extremely proud today to say that I'm an American. I'm not proud of this thing every 24 hours a day, but right now I'm very proud to be an American, and I want anybody who agrees with me, who feels the same way I do, to join me in a round of applause. I tuck the microphone under my, and I start off the round of applause, and there's like this little smattering of applause, and I go, uh-oh, that wasn't exactly rousing, but thanks anyway. So my point is, it was a funny little disappointment for me. But the fact is, we're getting there anyway. Whether these people care about it or not, now it's on the agenda. We are getting there. We're making progress. The cost of, Zoe was nice enough to mention my most recent book, which is about the cost of all this stuff is falling every day. We are getting there.
Okay.
Republicans getting.
I heard something that made a lot of sense to me. Republican and Democrat are just terms that incredibly rich white people use to describe each other. That don't have shit to do with you. Being a car fanatic, I have a car sickness.
Stupid.
I saw the movie Cowspiracy. I don't know how many others have
Oh,
ever seen it.
yeah.
If the consumption, if the destruction of the planet due to what we are putting out equals $20, according to this movie, cows make up $16.50 of it. So, shouldn't we be focusing on how much meat we eat? Because literally, the earth is not supposed to have this
putting
many
some
goddamn
type of
cows on it.
That's for sure.
A cow filter on their butts because all of the
put some on they
methane
booty
and the
and
farts.
catch the methane.
That's what's
The
causing
cow
most
farts.
Most of the greenhouse
So
gas.
Yeah,
worse
cow
than my
ass
65
filter needs to be
Thunderbird.
created. Somebody brilliant at MIT or Caltech or somewhere.
In your garage in Compton.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Bickle.
Yeah, I got it. I got it figured. My Uncle Earl has 7 cows. Now, I came up with a way to gas his tractor, and all I did was put PVC pipe connected to all them cows' asses.
Goddamn, boy.
I run all that into this tank and run that out to his tractor, and his tractor runs like a sumbitch. Now, I'm working with a Kentucky high school education and Mythbusters, and I figured that out. You mean to tell me you sumbitches that can put shit on the moon and come up with a way for me to take somebody in Timbuktu can't come up with an idea to catch all the cow farts at once? Catch the cow farts at once.
And we're saved.
Goddammit.
Doc?
I was just, for some reason, thinking about giant zeppelins and dirigibles all over the planet floating around from cow gas. So,
Just saying, man.
I still think that the world is a safe place. Things are changing, and I do know that just from my own work, working with individuals one-on-one, that when you change your inner world, that your outer world, your relationship with it and the people in it changes as well. And I think a lot of that has to do with knowing how to do it. Because behavioral change is actually pretty difficult when you don't know how to change the belief that's behind the behavior, right? That's why there are whole industries that are completely devoted to trying to change habits behaviorally with chemicals and things like that. When the truth is, you can have somebody come in, do some hypnosis or NLP or modalities like that. They can change beliefs in a matter of minutes, and the behaviors begin to change.
Yeah.
So when someone recognizes that their inner world is a reflection of their outer world. I mean, I just remember getting like a blood test, a live blood cell test, and looking at my blood and seeing, wow, this is really sacred. This is my blood. And being able to see, here's fungus, here's heavy metal, here's pathogens, here's white blood cells, red blood cells. I can see it live on video actually happening.
Where can I
Red
get
tamales,
Where can I get that
chiclets.
beer?
You know, the guy who I totally recommend this guy. He used to be the fastest man in the NFL, fastest 440 in history.
Willie?
Yeah.
Willie
no,
Galt?
Gosh, his name escapes me at the moment. He's Kevin Devine. So, love to see him on the show.
Faster than Willie Galt?
It may have been broken since then, but he's
Okay.
a remarkable guy.
The fastest 40 or the fastest
40
100 yards?
That's Chris Johnson.
Okay,
Wow.
So, but being
That's
able
crazy.
to see that, you know, I see that's my inner world. That's really there, right? And I can do anything. Like, for example, I know that you can stand on the earth. There's something that's called grounding. You can take a photograph of your blood. If you're not grounded, all of your blood cells will look coagulated together and smushed together. You can stand with your bare feet on the earth for about 45 minutes, and what happens is that you plug into Mother Earth, and you literally become electrified and charged, every cell in you, and you can see it. You can see all of the cells begin to increase what's called the zeta potential, which is the electrical charge of the cell that becomes round and plump and full and separated, and that reflects within your consciousness as well. You feel happier, you feel more alive, you feel more safe, and you behave that way as well, and your perception of the world shifts as well.
Wow, Veronica. Veronica could speak to this too, because this is what she does as well. We definitely need a conscious shift, right? And I say this all the time in the relationship work that I do. It's not a relationship, it's a relation shift. Because once you shift the mentality, you then shift the results, you shift the expectation. Veronica, can you speak to that?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say with regards to sustainability, I mean, one of the things that we have to sort of deprogram ourselves from is this constant state of wanting versus a state of having. In other words, because we've been marketed to so heavily, we're in a constant agitated state of neediness, right? In our psychology. And so at some point we have to realize, and the baseline of what we think we need has shifted so dramatically. You know, we think we need Jordans, we think we need cable, we think we need all this stuff that we really don't fundamentally need. And so if we can begin to embrace what we have instead of focusing on what we want, not only do we come to some sort of deeper sense of peace and just inner peace, but we also won't find ourselves needing to buy a bunch of shit and consume a bunch of stuff to fulfill that hole.
Listen, after that heat, I want you guys to watch this video of an Earth ship. Everything in this house is self-contained. Food, sanitation, sunlight, temperature, everything. Check this out.
So, so we just have we're moving. So I'm in the process of moving, taking down photos. But we have our coat rack and shoes here, and my desk on the other side of the office, and brick floor. And this space actually functions as an airlock for the house. So in the wintertime, we keep this door closed because this space can get cool when the exterior door opens. We're walking out of the drop-off zone and airlock into the living room. And so here's the living room. Back here is the tire wall of the house, all mud plastered. And the ceiling is made out of logs called vigas and rough sawn decking in a herringbone pattern. We have just our entertainment system, all run off of solar power, of course. We're off grid here. All doors and cabinets were made by me, and small backup wood stove for the night set. For if we get 2 or 3 days of cloudy weather in the winter, it's nice to have a little backup heat. Although the house would never freeze, it never gets below 60 or 62. So associated with the living room area is the dining room. This is a small little alcove to the open space of the house. And the house is pretty simple. From this standpoint, you can see the kitchen down below, and there's a loft up above where we sleep, and there's a small room down below, which is one of my son's rooms. And so the house was constructed little by little over time. When I started the house, I lived in the living room for 2 years while I built the rest of this space. So I lived in this space for 2 years, and I had a straw bale wall up basically where this door is, and a straw bale wall up essentially where this area is. And I added on to the house this way. And it was a great day when I was able to knock the straw bale wall down and occupy the whole house. Well, down here actually is the most comfortable space of the house in the summer, because this is surrounded by thermal mass.
Now, what's crazy is that house is totally off the grid, totally self-sustaining. Indoor garden that has a water system, or that, you know, the water you use, I guess it's called gray water. The water you use for, you know, the garden goes back into the toilet, right? The toilet water gets filtered. Everything is just recycles the whole thing. I mean, totally off the grid.
What happens with the toilet water?
You have to watch the video. It gets filtered. Look. No, but what's crazy
Some
is
shit just need to be gone.
later in the video, he opens up this cabinet and walks you through the whole filtration process.
What is the name of the
It's called Ted's Earthship. You look that up. I mean, it's a self-sustaining entity in and of itself. Now, if everybody did that, you know, the dollar, the economy, everything goes to shit, goes to hell. If everybody just said, you know what, I'm going to take my little money. See, remember, the money in Monopoly is worthless, right? But the object of Monopoly is to acquire while you're playing the game, right? Acquire property, right? But then at the end of the game, what do you do with all the property and after you won? You put it back in the goddamn box. Yeah, that's the game. So what they want you to do is believe that the game is infinite. It's going to keep going. No, it's not. This is why I tell them, use fake money to buy real shit while the game is still going. Because once they realize, use fake money.
I was about to make you repeat it.
To buy real shit.
What?
While the game is still going. Because at any moment they can say, okay, fuck that, game over. Then you
left with your fake shit.
When they say game over,
you standing there hungry with Jordan.
Right. Then that's when you recognize the mirror. You see yourself as what you are, which is a sheep. You don't know you're a sheep until the mirror show up. The mirror is game over. Then do that look with the Jordans. You hungry? Listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, final thoughts. I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston.
I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on TRadioV.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at you. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them.
Radio V.
And it's Mary Carey, of course, Politically Naughty with Mary Carey.
I'm always naughty. I'm always politically. My behavior is always politically
naughty.
I'm never politically correct. Dr. Drew, hi. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey guys, how are you?
It's all teary-eyed, Doctor.
I know. She wished she could live at rehab.
But only if Dr. Drew's there. Obviously,
Sure.
plus someone like, you know, because a little too groping might be inappropriate. But I like the flirting and stuff.
When I walked in, you shoved my head in your.
No! Are you gonna sue me?
Get Politically Naughty with Mary Carey. Mondays at 4 p.m. on T-Radio V.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio and TV.
We are a society. Well, we're at the end of another show. And as is commonplace, I like to, bring this up. We don't have all of the answers. Craig Shields came in here and said that. We don't have all the answers. We don't know everything. But we're going to have this uncomfortable conversation. We're going to keep bringing it back. And the reason why is because we've only got one Earth. One Earth. So, I think we talked about this before when I talked about Bikini Atoll, right? We Bikini Atoll is where they, they did all of the bombing, the testing for the A-bomb and all of that, right? Right. Let's test a bomb inside of the aquarium. Out in the open. In the atmosphere even. Let's just do it. Fuck it. Just the insanity associated with the action. Is there much difference between let's throw away this plastic bottle or these nylon fishing nets? Fuck it. Let's just throw them overboard. Fuck it. Is there much difference? See, it's easy for people to say that the populace, humanity, the majority of us are sheep. But I'm going to tell you something about melanated brown folk. You already know if everybody is a sheep, then black people are the black sheep. And black sheep do get treated differently than the white fluffy ones. Right? This isn't a race card. This is the reality of a stratified culture. Ageism, racism, sexism, classism. Now, those filters, those are our filters, right? Socially speaking, we go through this and then we say to ourselves, okay, the only way for sustainability to work across the board is we have to take the narrative or the definition of what they consider to be success and rewrite it. If everybody is chasing a social narrative that says this is success, this big ass house, this Mercedes or whatever German built car, because the Audi is catching up. BMW, right? Somebody, you understand what I'm saying? This German or this Italian car now, Ferrari and them, Maserati and them, right? So somebody has to say, no, that's not success anymore. Now, when I say the black sheep, this is how sustainability comes across to black people. Bill Gates, right? Ted Turner, David Rockefeller, Margaret Sanger, right? Hillary Clinton. We believe in eugenics. We're going to prune the useless people in society. We're going to consider ourselves human gardeners, and we're going to prune the useless faction of society. We're going to prune you through education. You don't get the same education we get. We're going to prune you through vaccination. We're going to sicken your ass. Yes. We're going to prune you through convenience. Right? Because I always think, how the fuck did David Rockefeller have 6 heart transplants? You mean, first off, what list is this motherfucker on? How you leapfrog all kinds of people? 6 heart transplants. Then I go back and I say, well, damn. How old is the Queen of England? What Medicare, what coverage does she have? Do you understand what I'm saying? So here we are as a people following, right? Following. I need a Mercedes Benz. Black people are the number one consumers of BMW. And BMW does absolutely zero for the African American community. But we buy their products. Buy some real shit with some fake money while they're still playing this game. Get off the grid. Sustainability is everywhere. You can get a book. You can get this brother Craig Shields' book, Bullish on Renewable Energy. Because I'm going to tell you, white supremacy doesn't go away when a great idea shows up. Sustainability is a great idea. But don't think ageism, racism, sexism, and classism, them filters go away. So sustainability also means limiting your ass from resources. Limiting you from fucking with them. Listen, have you ever been to Gelson's? Have you ever been to Whole Foods? Have you ever been to Food for Less? Do you understand? So, and I just have to be real and honest. I'm coming to my people with this information to say, you better get a hold of your destiny. You better get a hold of your narrative. You better start recycling your money in your community while the money is still worth something. Why are the Jews powerful? Because they keep that dollar in their community 18 times before they let it eke out to somebody else. And when they let it eke out to somebody else, they got a side deal with them. I got a joke with this guy. His name is Mike. He's a movie director. He's a Jew. We be on the court talking mad shit to each other. I love this dude. I've been playing hoop with him for over 13 years. And I say, listen, you need to pay attention to the score. Because every time you score, you add a Jewish tax on it. So it'll be 4-6, and he'll be like, it's 4-7. I say, listen, you can't add interest on shots. That's some Jew shit, right? And we laugh about it, right? But the reality of it is, they're going to protect themselves. Jews going to protect themselves. Asians going to protect themselves. Who's chopping up Africa right now? China. China is in Africa getting real currency, wealth out of the ground and turning it into a fiat currency. Y'all don't understand this game, man. If you want to be sustainable, you're going to have to recycle business money that black people, businesses. You're going to have to do that. And then you'll have leverage to go to other people and say, hey, we want to make this whole fucking community, right, sustainable with regards to, say, solar energy. All these homes here, you know how they say Ladera Heights is a black community? Okay, Ladera Heights. All y'all come together and make all your homes sustainable in terms of energy. You can't do it as a collective. You only do it as an individual because this is an individualistic society. Damn, I'm sorry. I just be trying to bring ideas to the table. I don't know. I love y'all to death. Listen, this is what we do. I'm Zoe Williams. That's my final thought. Let's wrap it up for everybody. Craig Shields. Where do they find you, bruh?
There's a website called 2 Green Energy, the number 2 greenenergy.com. 2greenenergy.com. I'm sorry if I wasn't speaking to the microphone. And you can find all about me and, all my associates there.
Veronica Conway!
Yes, VeronicaConway.com, and all my social media is all things Veronica Conway.
Love it, love it, love it. Booty boxing, Kev.
Yeah.
My fade on him. Bam!
The YouTube channel Real Nagas, REELNAGAS. Also the booty boxing, as Zoe was just saying. That's udemy.com/bootyboxing, and the promo code is ZoeWhatShow.
Doc Barham.
They can go to docbarham.org, which is doc like doctor, Barham, BARHAM, and they can send an email to me from there with docbarham@gmail.com, or go to my YouTube channel under my name.
Josh!
Okay.
You want to speak in the mic? Just grab it. Don't be scared.
The name of my show is Thank you for that. The name of my show is called Atticus is Activist. You could go to Atticus TV Show on Twitter, atticustv.com, and you can find us on YouTube, Atticus Activist TV.
Lydia.
Lydia L., my book, And So I Prayed, comes out tonight, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern. Here it is. Show out, show strong. You're going to get the lesson in the struggle. So let's do this.
Excellent. Hey, you already know. Please continue to support the Relationship Dismount. Oh, the raffle. Please support the raffle. We're giving all of these books away in the raffle, by the way. So everybody, raffle, coaching, all of that. Put the raffle up. Don't forget to get my book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. It's on Kindle. It's on iBooks. And if you want a physical copy, you have to go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com. Continue to support the movement. I appreciate everyone. And we, what? Oh, Jeff, where you going to be at? Hell?
Whoop!
Oh!
Hey, you got to work on your bark.
You got to work on your bark?
You almost called the elbow in the throat.
Your bark is a little watery.
Look out for TV show. Just shot it in Vegas. The first episode, R, which is the first R-rated car show hosted by yours truly.
Hey, we love y'all. We see you next week. So what? We out.
Is that real? Is that how shit go? Cause on me, you was number 23, niggas say it ain't so. How you gonna let them devils turn you into a hoe? Maybe you was always a bitch and niggas didn't know. Maybe you decided to switch when you got all that dough. But the truth is about to tell them where the fuck you can go. Fuck that nigga and fuck them shoes. Fuck that nigga and fuck them shoes. Fuck that nigga and fuck them shoes. Fuck that nigga with them high price shoes for real. And I don't care if you my blood or my cousin. If black lives don't matter, black money does, nigga. Fuck marching, fuck burning up the town. Stop.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.